there were the kids who had HBO, and then there were the kids who had Cinemax. And everybody looked at the kids that had Cinemax like, we know why you have Cinemax.
That's right.
They'd look at their dad and be like, come on, dude. Are you really?
It was the kids with their eyes were little blue underneath the bottom there from staying up all night.
Yeah, so
masticating.
The HBO guide and the Cinemax guide, if you remember, they were the same guide. It came like a little guide, like that big in all the movies. So you'd get the movies. It was like, oh, what's on HBO? Predator, RoboCop.
Yep.
First Blood Part 2. And you go over to Cinemax. What's on Cinemax? Hey, I'm not allowed to watch any of that. They have all of that, and then that one movie by Yahoo Serious.
That's right.
That's all that was on Cinemax. So anyway, that's what you had. HBO was so good in the 80s that if you knew someone that had the satellite, that's when satellite TV came out, people would be like, can you get HBO on that?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, no, I get 1,000 channels, but they're like,
right.
Where's HBO?
Yeah, everybody loved HBO. And by the way, those friends called it Cinemax. Yeah, that's why you got that. So HBO
Cinemasticate
and Cinemax merged, okay?
Yeah.
And they become two souls in one.
Yeah.
And it was great for a while it lasted. Then Netflix came out and put Blockbuster out of business. And HBO was like, you know what? I feel like I'm getting in on this fight. And that's what HBO did. They said, okay, I'm going to show y'all what we're made of. HBO comes out with their streaming channel. Holy crap.
Yeah.
HBO had a lot of good stuff on there because HBO, what they did was they threw their entire back catalog, the Sex and the City,
everything,
Game of Thrones,
The Sopranos,
Sex and the City, Game of Thrones,
6 Feet Under.
Yes. And then a lot of other cool stuff. And so they were like a contender, and because you were like, "Hey, Darren, do you have HBO?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No," and you were like,
I don't think we can be friends.
So I checked it out, and sure enough, they were seriously a contender for Netflix. And then what they do?
HBO, they were the cool. Excuse me, they were the cool. They were the cool premium channel. When people would get kicked off of regular cable for being like when Bill Maher got kicked off.
Yeah.
HBO gave him a show.
Yeah.
When Robin Williams, the heyday of Robin Williams, like when you talk about Robin Williams as a comedian.
Oh, yeah.
All of his stuff was on the HBO.
He and George Carlin had the HBO comedy special.
HBO was awesome.
HBO was awesome. And then they decided to throw their hat in the ring, the whole streaming thing, and they were making Netflix shaking their boots.
Making bank.
Netflix is like, what the hell are we going to do now? Oh my God, we've got to do something. What are we going to do? They were freaking out, right? And then HBO, just when they've got the upper hand, HBO says, we're changing our name to Max.
And
we're going to take the least cool part about our name, HBO Max, and we're going to drop the HBO part.
And Hulu, like, wow, we might actually get in on this.
Even Crackle was like, honey, get your shit together.
Yeah.
We're back in it.
We're back.
Crackle was like, yes.
Yeah.
With all the Crackle original programming.
Yeah, so we had to put out the episode 150, whatever it was.
155.
155 to say, come on.
What? Come on.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
It's...
Yeah, so I think we are fully responsible for this because I know people, and I have a feeling that HBO went and listened to this and like, God, Mike and Darren are onto us.
Did you see what
You're welcome, by the way. It's the smartest thing the smartest thing they ever could have done was not change their name. Idiots.